Without further ado, I would like to invite Borealis to the stage as they are our first presenters. Ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, judges and special guests. I'm Thomas Benedetti, proud CEO of the Borealis design team. Now, when you hear the term FIRST, what comes to mind? Is it an athlete receiving a gold medal, a pioneer discovering an untouched world, or a baby taking their first steps under watchful guidance? We at Borealis have pondered the same thing as we set out to give life to Lunar's first settlement, Armstrol. For us, being first in means being best dressed. That means nothing but the pinnacle of advanced technology, outstanding efficiency, state-of-the-art research labs, innovative design, all whilst retaining that comfortable feeling of home. Ultimately, our intent is to get more human boots on the ground. Members of the Foundation Society, I truly believe that what we have to present today is the ideal design for our first lunar settlement. And by the end of our presentation, you will want to choose our design as your final choice. I now introduce you to our General Manager for Marketing and Commerce, Luca O'Brien.
Good afternoon, Foundation Society. Today, the business solutions my team has provided are not only innovative and practical for today, but provide the scope for Armstrol to evolve into tomorrow. Armstrol has four main goals: the identification of natural resources, the research of potential products, performance as an operations base, and performance as a refuge for lunar travellers. Central to these main themes is the manoeuvrability of CAS design, how Armstrol is constructed in such a way that it can be flexible to future challenges and goals. Natural resource and research facilities can be built in different areas in the future due to the simplistic design. Different types of CAS, like the space frame, are made from durable and strong materials to prevent against exterior conditions. Each CAS characteristics give them the potential to serve a multitude of uses. The ones listed up here are just a few uses the Foundation Society could provide in the future. As a refuge for citizens and lunar travellers, the stacked nature of Armstrol as a settlement gives the ability to modify the interior layout, expanding the capacity from 2 to 4 residents per CAS, if that is what the society desires. Furthermore, each CAS can also be easily removed and replaced with a different design to suit future goals of the society. It is crucial that Armstrol is not only groundbreaking in technology, but also feasible and efficient in balancing costs. The initial CAS loads are divided between the type of CAS that will suit transportation most effectively. Shown here are all commodities and the required CAS loads for both initial construction and operation, 131 in total. The initial cost of construction is total to be 12.4 billion, broken down here, with different stages ranging between 2 to 8 billion each. An annual cost fluctuating between years determined by operation, but believed to be initially for the first year approximately 57.3 billion. Total annual salary costs are also expected to be 84.67 million, with specific breakdowns per role shown here. However, these costs could be easily offset by potential customer-driven business ventures, such as mining expensive metals like palladium, producing aluminium water rocket fuel, or using subcontractors, all of which have had major demands from space companies in recent years. The following slide shows, with the abundance of these resources on the moon, a high profit margins and low costs in adapting technology could eventually mean cost offset and profitability. But again, to which level this would be done will be determined by the society. As shown here, the schedule has several ingenuities that maximize efficiency in both construction and operation. These include the establishment of flexible guidelines that give a strict timeline but can be adjusted in unforeseen circumstances, and the practice of completing multiple tasks at once, such as mining one sector during the research development of other sectors, to begin maximising the facilities to their full potential immediately. Armstrol's risk management system is carefully structured to ensure high performance in both planned and unplanned scenarios. Initial design negates major risk by the structure and placement of the settlement, such as space frame casts being made from strong, flare-preventive material to negate that risk. For other risks and unforeseen risks, threat and opportunity matrices will be used, classifying the risk according to its severity or likelihood. For example, various examples are shown above, with specific strategies for how major each threat and opportunity is to the base, allowing the settlement to operate at its optimum level. Finally, here is the strategy shown in more detail for maximising a potential opportunity in fuel creation. Here is Sebastian Woloschek, Borealis' structural engineering manager, to explain more about the project.
Members of the Foundation Society, Armstrol is much more than a big concrete box in a big hole somewhere on Lunar. It's a home for Foundation Society workers, providing all the safety and comfort benefits we can expect here on Earth, and much more. Its exterior design, in the basic shape of a rectangular prism, has four main benefits: cost benefit, practicality, efficiency, and safety. The dimensions shown on the screen above allow the settlement to be easily implemented into any lava tube, fitting the dimensions provided by the Foundation Society. This allows it to be replicated almost exactly in countless locations near Lunar's surface. The big box, as we can call it, is supported by numerous extendable moonquake dampers, ensuring the complete safety of all 350 pioneers during the inevitable natural occurrences. The design also encompasses 3 emergency evacuation locations, shown by the red circles, meaning that if any potentially life-threatening issues that arise, the settlement could be evacuated quickly and safely. The rectangular style of the settlement allows for the effective utilisation of space within the settlement, with 10 floors, each 5 metres high, allowing for both comfort and practicality. Armstrol is designed in a way that makes all areas of the settlement easily accessible for all residents. With the settlement only 170 metres long at its longest point, Armstrol offers approximate yet spacious settlement, allowing for future expansion. It is also important to note that the settlement is split into 3 separate sections, separated by lift shafts and small airlocks, enhancing the safety benefits for your workers. Before your revolutionary groundbreaking settlement begins operation, however, it needs to be built. Our engineers have planned out an efficient yet cost-effective model for the construction of the settlement, as can be seen above. Many factors were taken into consideration, such as the use of Lunar's resources to construct certain sections of the settlement. For example, lunar dust will be derived to form 2 major building materials, lunarcrete and lunar glass, removing the need to transport more materials from Earth. Casks are also key features of the construction process and interior design. The large containers, once expired of their primary function of delivering materials from Earth to Armstrol, will be utilised in almost every part of the settlement, from housing agriculture to acting as residence rooms, and even simply storage. Long story short, if a plan is made to repurpose the settlement, any unwanted sections could be removed simply through the removal of the casks, leaving a flat surface easily ready to be utilised. The Borealis team have been dedicated to providing scientists on Armstrong with the best research and analysis machines available for study on the Moon. Your scientists will be given the opportunity of a lifetime to study the Moon with the most recent inventions made for high-end study of the minerals and materials, with a wide range of research topics available. In fact, our laboratories will be equipped with the latest technology, including completely depressurized lab, external facilities such as robot launching stations, as well as several surface observatories. With all this under Armstrong's belt, you will be the face of the latest strides into space research. The minerals being researched will be extracted from the Moon's surface using the process outlined above, ending in access into the settlement through a triple airlock system, causing no risk of dust contamination on the interior. I now pass on to Tom, Head of Operations.
Hello, members of the Foundation Society. I'm just going to get straight into this. So, start with materials. The majority of the materials are going to be sourced from the Moon rather than being shipped in. This is for construction, which has numerous benefits to costs. And we are using casks as much as possible in combination with the cask transport rovers, we can illustrate later, which has further efficiency benefits to transporting and mining materials. In terms of infrastructure, a key part of our infrastructure is the central utility line, which is almost like a spine of the station. It houses multiple services, including water and electricity, along the length of the station, and it allows individual services to spread out amongst the structure where needed, sort of like ribs. In terms of agriculture, our main goal is to be completely self-sufficient after the system's been set up. And we've achieved this using a combination of hydroponics and genetic modification to increase yield by approximately 3 times over conventional farming techniques. Multiple crops have been chosen based on their nutritional profile, and we're using bioreactors to provide individual servings of meat. For residential waste, we aim to reuse as much water as possible. So 97% of the water used by inhabitants can be recycled, and nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium recovered from the waste can be recovered from the waste through increased hydroponic yields. Methane harvested from the solid waste system can also be used in the heat exchange system. For atmosphere, we've chosen a high nitrogen content, similar to the atmosphere that we're currently breathing right now. We could have gone with more pure oxygen, but we decided that for the fire risk that brings, the high nitrogen content. We're using a ducted circulation system with polyvinyl chloride filters to remove particulate matter from the system. And the lower pressure than usual, 0.7 bars, lower pressure than sea level, minimises the amount of air required to fill the pressurised areas of the station while maintaining resident fitness. For communication, for heat management, we need to deal with large variations in temperature in the lunar environment. So to do that, we're using a dual loop temperature regulation system based on the ISS. For transport, there are elevators available for transporting people and objects throughout the station and to the surface. For communication, we have an extremely fast laser-based link to the Earth, which allows occupants high-speed internet connection, which is essential for functioning in today's society. We have internally, we're communicating using Wi-Fi and fiber optic for stationary devices, and we have a high-frequency radio system as backup communication. For power requirements, we've estimated 40 megawatts of power required for the station. We've done a full trade-off study between an orbital-based solar system and a ground-based solar system, and decided on the orbital system, in part because our company is already building an orbital system in place there, which brings large cost reductions to the program, and it makes it the most effective option for us. In terms of the port, we have 3 launch pads, which are all visible from the observation area. One 1,000 metres away and one 500 metres away. They don't need to be as far away as they normally will on Earth due to the lack of atmosphere, so there's no pressure waves. To reduce risk of explosion, fuel is stored away from the launch pad. And to reduce risk of dust contamination, all casks will be delivered by transportation rovers, and new casks will be cleaned through the cleaning station. I'll just go through now. So we're using static fields to give an initial clean, and then water jets to get any left over from there. Any dust that does get inside will be caught by the filters in the air filtration system, and our seals will be replaced regularly. I'd now like to introduce our General Manager for Human Factors, Index.
Members of the Foundation Society, my department's one concern is you. Your well-being, your safety, your satisfaction. We will make sure that you are comfortable in your home away from home. This is being done in multiple ways, one being with the living quarters. Each living quarters are designed to be adjustable. If there are 2 people living in the one quarter, we have installed soundproof foldable walls to separate both rooms. However, we can also fit 4 people into one room. The main advantages of these quarters, though, is that the whole room can be arranged as you wish. In each room there are collapsible and inflatable furniture and customizable OLED modular screens. Now, these screens can be placed on any wall and can be arranged to any form of your desire. Other facilities for the members of Armstrol are 2 public laundry sites on each floor and are public areas for entertainment and recreation. There is also 1 main medical station with backup power generators and a mess hall. We then move on to Operations Consumables. We have effectively managed resources to maximize productivity while maintaining a cost-effective operation. Excess resources such as food and backup medical supplies will be kept in storage cassettes until they are required for use. The medical center will distribute and utilize patient supplies. Essential medical equipment such as first aid kits and stretchers will be located on each floor. All main meals will be also distributed by the mess hall. Throughout Armstrol, there are a variety of appliances and furniture items to enhance living. All these items that will be used for your comfort will be manufactured and transported from Earth. Furthermore, supplies will be seamlessly transported from storage cassettes to relevant locations around the settlement. BNNTs will be incorporated into the spacesuit designs to prevent radiation exposure outside Armstrol. With the help of the latest refrigeration and air conditioning technology, it will be installed throughout the settlement to allow for optimum temperatures that benefit human efficiency and comfort. Oxygen is created and maintained through electrolysis, while waste CO2 is converted back into oxygen. The residual carbon will be repurposed for building materials and which will save overall costs. Gyms will be situated throughout the whole Armstrol. Additionally, a compulsory body scanner helps maintain the optimal health of each person. Sleeping patterns are kept as Earth-like and comfortable as possible, using the latest LED technology to stimulate the brain. Modular wall televisions placed throughout the residential zones can simulate a scenery of the worker's choice, allowing them to have a sense of home outside their home. Hydration and nutrition is supplied to the crew to maintain cognitive functions. Leisure times and work levels are balanced to sustain productivity throughout all members. One of the main issues with living on the moon is dust. The dust will stick and get on everything you touch. The solution to getting rid of this is by having a triple airlock before you enter the facilities. Though, being underground drastically reduces the abrasive effect of the dust on the spacesuits, buildings, and supplies. The spacesuits have therefore been designed to not attract moon dust, by having a disposable coating on the outer layer to expand the lifespan of each suit. The cleaning process includes anti-static fields and high-frequency sound waves to remove dust. Other safety protections include locating the labs closest to the medical facilities and having airlocks in each lab for safety. There's also oxygen and heat detectors and first aid kits in every lab and floor. We'd now like to introduce Alice.
Foundation members, our first task as automation is to construct the base. This construction process involves the use of 5 individual robots. Their operational arms allow parts, I'll change the slide first. Their operational arms allow parts to be replaced or rotated, allowing robots to be easily repurposed for different parts of the construction process and maintenance operations into the future. To go into some details. Firstly, the LCR, or Large Construction Robot, clears space for landing and unloads the casks. Then SCR, or Standard Construction Robot, makes the main structures of the temporary living spaces. This is followed by IFRs, Interior Finishing Robots, which complete the construction. LCRs are repurposed for drilling foundations, and CPRs are used to prepare a foundation and then line the tunnel with bedliner. SCRs establish an airlock after this, then DCRs, dirt collection robots, clear out the internal dust. LCRs construct and weld the main structure. Finally, SCRs build preliminary internals, and the IFRs once again complete the internal construction. Later on, the smaller SCRs and IFRs are used for general maintenance, while the larger LCRs are used to unload casks onto our transportation rover for delivery to the settlement airlock. Now, I'd like to introduce you to OWL. OWL, what is OWL? OWL is an artificial intelligence and personal device which connects people in the settlement together. It is connected through a watch that is worn by every resident. Using the watch, you can schedule cleaners, make calls, be alerted to emergencies, as well as utilize it as if it were a desktop computer by connecting it to a display. It monitors trends in health such as heart rate and blood pressure, output with multiple shell devices. Through the watch, one can call a multi-purpose cleaning robot or use a virtual reality system called Virtual OWL, which can be used to answer phone calls and free. To keep personal and confidential information safe, an NFC-enabled temporary tattoo will be placed on the right forearm of each person. This will enable access to private areas and network information, such as their specific job listing and access to their own home. Additionally, to reinforce security, a retina scanner will also be included on important doorways. Robots will play a quintessential role in the development and maintenance of the settlement, with some robots directly affecting people. MPC-001 is a multi-purpose cleaning robot whose main job is to clean toilets and showers, but can also deploy an autonomous vacuum. The IR-001 is a robot who does only internal repairs, such as electrical work and other maintenance. For extreme repairs, MR is a mining robot designed for mining, but may also be repurposed to do external repairs. In case of depressurization, there are 2 safety net doors implemented before reaching the main foyer at the entrance of the settlement. Walls and furniture have fire retardant paint coated on, therefore fire ignites and alarm sounds over the PA system. And the owl watches vibrate. There are fire extinguishers and lights in every room. The facility is surge protected. And service of codes in 2.5 millimeters, as well as backup electrical systems and gold coating. We also have redundant systems that, yeah.